You know, the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries media hunt has been something that's been really exciting, really fun for me. And I think the funnest part is the collection of people that you get to meet that come in to experience different things while they're here. And there's a variety of people, from industry experts that I've looked up to for years, all the way down to, you know, well-known writers, people in the media industry, you know, people that are technically designing and building the units, to first-timers that have never picked up a bow or never hunted in their life, world champion ATV racers, world champion fighters. I mean, it's just such an eclectic mixed group that have come through at this event that you really never know what you're gonna have happen or who you're gonna meet.
This year's group of hunters consists of 7-time GNCCX-C1 Pro ATV champion Walker Fowler, Chris Fleming from Honored American Veterans Afield, and Pro Angler Brandon Palaniuk. Now, throughout this episode and the next, we'll be following along on their journeys during this year's Yamaha media event.
All right, so opening morning here out in Texas, and we got everyone gearing up and going out to their respective stands and everything. And yeah, it's kind of getting those first morning jitters out. Everyone's just gonna go out, get comfortable. But the way things have been going, nice, cool, crisp morning. So hopefully things are gonna be moving out there, and we're definitely gonna be, or they're definitely gonna be seeing something. It's gonna be good though, because Walker's gonna be his first time hunting with the bow. And Brandon actually has a new bow as well. He's gonna go out and check out, but he's never gotten any big game down at all. So hopefully he gets something there. And then Chris too, he's gonna be out hunting with a rifle. Hasn't really done much whitetail hunting. Should be his first good buck. So the way things are looking, I think they'll definitely be seeing something. Hopefully it's gonna be something they can all knock down and bring back to camp. But regardless, looking forward to seeing what people come back with, whether it's stories or whether it's a deer. It'll be a good time.
Let's kick things off with Wade and Brandon as they head out for their first hunt of the event.
I've known Brandon for a while. He's been to the camp before for the turkey bass smash, and I've just got a lot of respect for Brandon, how he carries himself in the fishing industry, what he does, and how he does it. And so I was excited for him to come into camp, to the point that I said, hey, I'll grab the camera. We're a little short-handed this week, and I'll even be Brandon's camera guy.
Me and Wade, I've got Wade Middleton. He's filming for me. You guys have seen him on the show. So I feel like I've got a pretty good guy in my corner. And this is a guy that knows Texas whitetails probably as good as anyone. And so I was so excited that, you know, I had everything in my room, packed away, brought it out in the morning, hung my bow up on the post where we practice shoot, and lo and behold, just drove off and left it there.
And usually on opening morning, or anytime you're going to the stand to go bow hunting, that is something that you need in order to go hunting, in order to get your deer. So we're gonna kind of wait around for Brandon, see when he shows up, and kind of poke him a little bit, but something tells me he'll be back very soon to come get this, because it is quite essential on this hunt.
Something tells me you might need this.
It helps. I just didn't want to crowd the other guys in the back seat.
We were going to continue on to what is famously known as the killing tree, and we didn't make it there because we had to come back, get my bow. We knew there were some deer in that area, and we didn't want to screw it up, right? We were going to get in there too late, and it just wasn't worth blowing them out. So we actually went to a different area, which we call the backfield, and we snuck in there, got into a box blind. That was my first time ever being in a box blind. So, you know, a lot of new experiences this week for me. But we got in there, started seeing some deer. You know, I actually saw one shooter buck, but he never came into range. He kind of snuck around through the brush behind and never got a shot at him. And, you know, that was kind of our morning hunt.
When we return, we'll follow along with Walker and Chris and see if their morning hunts fared any better. Now, as we continue coverage of this year's Yamaha media event, you might recognize a familiar face. Yamaha Racer Walker Fowler is back and has come a long way since picking up bow hunting last season.
Hunting with Walker has been such a great experience. I've always seen the racing side of him, and he is so passionate about that, but also such a hard worker too. You know, you can tell he gives 100% in everything that he does. Last year when it came to the hunt, he was relatively green, still did some things before, but after he went back home, I mean, he was full on into it, you know, buying feeders, buying cameras, everything, kind of even bought a plot of land where he was trying to manage his own little piece too. So just cool to see him going from there and then coming into this hunt where he's now starting with the bow and getting used to the bow and everything over the past year. Just seeing his excitement and growth continue, picking everyone's brains out here on how to do things, what to do in this certain situation. And of course, when you get to do that with the best of the best, there's no better way to learn. And when Walker knows that he has that opportunity, he wasn't going to pass it up.
It's the first morning of the Yamaha media event, so let's tag along with Walker Fowler and see which Yamaha side-by-side he's taking out for his first hunt.
This is a 2022 RMAX 1000, the two-seater. This is the XTR edition. Just an incredible machine. We leave it in trail mode usually, or if we're gonna get to like tighter woods, like Scott and I were talking, we'll put it in crawl mode, and it's just no impact on your gear because it's just so smooth, and it literally changes the pedal feel. So it's just really easy on the gear. And then if Jeff's gonna hold on tight, we'll put it in sport mode, and we'll let all 1000 cc ponies really shine. Our first sit, we knew we weren't even gonna take a shot. Sitting in there, and actually a really nice buck walks out, and I'm pretty sure I scared him off because I was clambering in the chair so bad that, and I had, Jeff was my cameraman last year as well, and he kind of looked at me, he's like, "You gonna be all right?" I'm like, I guess, I've seen them, you can walk up to them in my woods, but when you're here to take one down, it's a totally different world. And that's that excitement, that feel you don't get that in very many things. I guess unless you're a robot and you don't have any feelings, but my racing, certain situations, and definitely hunting, you get this rush, and it's just, there's a lot of things going on, and your breathing gets all wonky, and it's fun. It's a rush for sure. So no blood, not good. We didn't get skunked, but we had a decent little 6 come on the, I'm not sure what side of the pond that is, but far side on where we're sitting. He came in, got a drink, left. Then we had a small 6 and another doe and a fawn come in. They've been here for 2 hours. They were hungry. And then, man, just the time we thought we weren't going to see anything else, this big 8 comes in on the ridge there, comes down, gets a drink, leaves the same way. That's all she wrote. It's almost 10 o'clock, so we're going to go get something to eat.
We've got one more honored guest here at the Yamaha media event we've yet to introduce, and that is Chris Fleming from HAVA.
HAVA is a very unique industry-supported organization. Honored American Veterans of Field is what it stands for, and they do a great job. One of many organizations that spends time taking care of veterans, helping them get out and reacclimate, expand their horizons, let them have experiences that they may never have. And you know, it's just a great organization. But on Chris's side, from a personal standpoint, when you hear his story, it's very unique.
I lost both my legs in 2009 as a contractor in Afghanistan, so I didn't have the opportunity to go to veteran events. And I got a phone call from a retired Marine colonel, and he said, "Hey, I got this event I need you to go to." And I told him, I can't. I'm not a retired Marine. I'm not a wounded veteran. And he said, "Well, you're not going to participate. You're going to work. You're going to be a volunteer." And that transpired into staying with him since 2011, and it's become a home for me. We treat veterans like people. We're not looking to push them through. We want to make connections. We want to create relationships. We want them to be able to reach out to us. We want to enjoy them as much as they enjoy us. So we're very passionate about what we do, and you could tell by going to our events. And our core mission is to get returning veterans, combat veterans, wounded veterans back out on the range, back out in the woods, back out on the trails.
To learn more about Honored American Veterans Afield and find an event near you, visit honoredveterans.org. Let's see how Chris fared on his first morning hunt.
It's not only my first, I'm going to say trophy opportunity. It's a trophy opportunity for me, but it's my first time with a rifle. I'm feeling pretty good. Good night's sleep, so feeling pretty good about it. We had a bunch of does come out. We had a couple-year-old buck come out. It probably was a shooter on the last day, but first morning, it was suggested that we let him walk and look at him another day.
I'm actually pretty excited how this morning's gone so far. We had pretty good movement this morning, half a dozen does, couple of bucks. Where I came from, they're shooters. But Michael says we got bigger, better ones to go after, so I'm gonna listen to him. It's amazing stuff, beautiful morning, even with a jackhammer in the background. It's awesome.
When we return, we'll continue our coverage of the Yamaha media event as Brandon finally gets to hunt out of the famed killing tree. Well, it's time for the afternoon hunts for our guys, and as we wrap up our episode, let's check out which Yamaha side-by-side Brandon's been using on these hunts.
This week we've been using the Yamaha R-Max LE. We're in the 4-seater. I'm familiar with this machine. It's the same one I have at home, except mine's in blue. And first thing that I noticed when I drove one of these is the comfort. You can just drive across this rocky, nasty South Texas dirt and you don't feel it. From a comfort level, that's one thing, but also when you're packing your bow and all of your gear, your camera equipment, you don't want that stuff bouncing around back there. And it actually makes a difference on that, right? I mean, you kind of have that peace of mind that it's not just gonna bounce out or your sights aren't gonna get knocked loose. There's so many features that are well thought out features that really make that the total package for a machine.
Learn more about all the proven off-road side-by-sides Yamaha offers at YamahaOutdoors.com. Let's join back up with Brandon as he heads out with Wade to the infamous killing tree.
We are in the infamous killing tree, and just like Wade had said, like there'll be some does start showing up, and they did. We had some does and fawns. I just love being that close to those animals, right? You're just watching them be wild, do their normal thing. They don't know you're there. You're just sitting there in the tree, letting deer be deer. Next thing you know, I mean, just like the ghosts that they are, all of a sudden he just appears out of the brush And it didn't take very long to figure out he was gonna be a shooter. Wade tells me, you know, like, he's gonna hang behind them trees 10, 15 minutes or whatever, and he's like, he'll probably work his way this direction. And I thought, this buck's not coming back. Like, he's just gonna feed his way out and he's gonna be gone. And that's gonna be my chance at this shooter buck. And Wade's like, man, he's still right there, he's right there. 15 more minutes goes by. Here he comes walking on back, and I'm like, oh, I already know what's gonna happen here. That one got my knee shaking. It looked like it smoked him. I don't even know what to say. That's the first buck I've ever shot at with my bow. Oh my gosh. I don't think he ran too far. It sounded like we could hear him. Just, I don't know, he can't be that far, but we could hear him pretty good. It shows up good on that white rock. Jeez. There he is. Oh, man. Gosh. Opened him right up. First buck.
That's awesome.
With a bow.
That's awesome.
Freaking sweet. Couldn't believe, you know, that I'd finally gotten one with my bow. I've spent quite a few hours and days and weeks out in the woods, you know, elk hunting and chasing different animals, and I haven't been able to capitalize on opportunities like that. And finally was able to, you know, get my hands on a really cool, awesome Southwest Texas buck. It's exciting, right? To put in the work and then be able to have that reward in your hand, right? That's something that I can tell this story to my friends and my family back home. And also that's gonna be the meat that we live on when we travel across the country competing in tournaments, right? We travel in a big RV, we fill the freezer full of the meat that we harvest from that fall before, and that's what we live on. So there's so much that comes from it, not only for myself, but also that I'm able to share with my friends and family.
Congratulations, Brandon, on your first whitetail buck with a bow. Coming up in a future episode, we'll rejoin Walker and Chris as they continue their hunts during the Yamaha media event. That'll do it for this episode of the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Yeah, we'll see you next time.